Welcome back, Gameyaaad family. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. I am extremely delighted that you have joined us. Now in this video, we will be looking on the 16-man squad published by Cricket West Indies 9 days ago, right, for this home series, this full of energy home series against the Australians. Now this series marks the start of this new test cycle, and it's a new era for West Indies cricket. Darren Sammy would have been selected as test coach, right, and he will be playing his first series under his new leadership. Now, I mean, this squad published by Cricket West Indies would have, drawn a lot of conversation here in the West Indies, a lot of disappointments. As we would have heard, some are very confused about, how the names were selected. And so we will be, looking into each of the names that would have been selected. I mean, some of the names we expect them, but there are some that we did not expect. And so we will be zooming in on those that we did not expect to be in the squad, and we will look on, the thought process, by Darren Sammy and his team as it relates to the selection of these players. Now, without further ado, let us go right into the 16-man squad published by Cricket West Indies. And in terms of the batters, we have Casey Carty, Brandon King, Kevlan Anderson, John Campbell, Craig Brathwaite, Mikhail Louis. In terms of wicket keepers, we have Shea Hope, Kevin Imlach. As it relates to the all-rounders, we have Ruston Chase as captain, Justin Graves as all-rounder. And as it relates to the bowlers, we have Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Jamel Warrican, who is the vice captain, Jaden Seals, Johan Lane, and Anderson Phillip. Now, I will not be going through, the selection of Ruston Chase and Jamel Warrican. We would have, done some extensive videos on those two players, as well as the other players who were shortlisted for the captaincy. So right off the bat, having looked on the squad, we would have seen the non-inclusion of some players, which I believe would have, part of the, the controversy here in the West Indies. And that name would have been Kimar Roach, that veteran bowler. We would not have seen Alec Athanaze, and he was a top run scorer in the 2 unofficial test matches against the South Africa A team. We would not have seen Kevin Hodge. We would not have seen Joshua Da Silva. We would not have seen Jason Mohammed. These two players, they would have scored, heavily in the recently concluded West Indies Championship. We would not have seen Amir Jangu. So there are some players that we have not seen in the squad. Buddha Kishmote is one of them. Kevin Sinclair is one of them. So we will, get into the details of, why these players were included and why these players were not included. Now, firstly, I will be looking on the inclusion of Kevlan Anderson. At this point, I would not have included Kevlan Anderson, but I can understand why Darren Sammy would have included Kevlan Anderson in this series. I believe that Kevlan Anderson needed some more 18 games where he can, continue to build on the form that he would have had in the West Indies Championship. Playing cricket at the international level is no easy task, and scoring runs at the domestic level is not the same as scoring runs at the international level. But I have no issue with Darren Sammy including Kevlan Anderson. He's a young player, and he would have shown, over the last year that he has the ability to play at this level. However, I believe that he needed some more experience at playing some more 18 games before he is elevated to the international level. But nonetheless, I do not have any issue with Darren Sammy included Kevlan Anderson. So looking at Kevlan Anderson's stat for the West Indies Championship, he would have played 7 matches, batted for 11 innings, scoring 573 runs with his highest score of 116 at an average of 71.62 and strike rate of 61.48, and he would have scored 350s and 300s in the recently concluded West Indies Championship. So it was a very good championship for him. I would say it was a breakout championship for Kevlan Anderson. He was superb in this championship. As it relates to the unofficial ODI series that he would have played against South Africa A. He would have played all 3 matches, and he would have amassed 77 runs. The highest runs would have been 45, and at an average of 38.5. And his strike rate would have been 93.9, and he did not score any 50 nor any 100. In terms of the unofficial test between South Africa A, Kevlan Anderson would have played all 2 matches, and he would have batted for 4 innings. He amassed 77 runs with a high score of 52 at an average of 19.25. At a strike rate of 47.82, right, with 150 and no 100. Looking on his first class career stats, he would have played 23 matches so far with 39 innings. He would have amassed 1,511 runs, highest score of 153 at an average of 44.44, and at a strike rate of 55.85. Scoring 506 50s. So his conversion rate there is immaculate. And so looking on Kevlan Anderson's stats, his stats really look impressive, especially in the West Indies Championship and also his first class career. But he did not really translate the form into the 18 matches. I was expecting him to score more runs in those matches, but as I said before, I can understand the reasons why Darren Sammy would have included him, and I believe he is a good prospect. He has the talent, he has the knowledge of the game, he has the understanding of the game. Watching him, he has the technique, right? And I hope that he will do well if he is given a chance in this series. Now moving on to John Campbell, another inclusion in the squad that was really created some talk in the West Indies. For John Campbell, his test career so far, he would have played 20 matches with 40 innings, scoring 888 runs, highest score of 68 at an average of 26.11, right? And his strike rate would have been 52.17, scoring 350s and no 100. In terms of the West Indies Championship this year, he would have played 7 matches, batting 11 innings, amassing 517 runs, a high score of 126 at an average of 47, strike rate of 73.22. He would have made 250s and 300s in the championship. As it relates to the unofficial test, he would have played 2 matches, batted for 4 innings, amassed 110 runs, a high score of 59, average of 27.5, strike rate of 62.85 with only 1 half century. And I believe that, John Campbell is somebody that, Darren Sammy really looking on. If you can remember when those players, especially Sherfian Rutherford and Romario Shepherd and Shamar Joseph, when they were not available for the England tour, right? The first few matches, if you notice that John Campbell would have been, selected to join the team in England. And that would have, suggested to us that he is, right up there in the pecking order as it relates to Darren Sammy's selection. Now, whether or not he is included in the starting 11, we have to wait and see. We know that Craig Brathwaite is one of the opener, but the other opener would be between John Campbell and Michael Louis. And the fact that John Campbell would have been selected for that England tour, maybe he will be the other opener for the West Indies in this first test to be played in Kensington Oval in Barbados. Now, the other person that would have been selected that would have raised some eyebrows in the West Indies would have been Brandon King. And if you can remember when Darren Sammy was elected coach of the test team, he would have made a very important statement in that press conference, right? And he did say, and I am paraphrasing now, that he doesn't see West Indies players as white ball and red ball players. He sees everyone as a cricketer for the West Indies. And so I believe that once he would have been selected captain, he would have tried to get Brandon King to play red ball cricket as well as Shea Hope and the others. I believe that Brandon King should be given a chance at this level as well in the red ball game, given that he would have played the West Indies Championship and he would have played 4 matches, batted for 8 innings, and he amassed 242 runs, highest score of 89 at an average of 30.29, at a strike rate of 52.72, and he would have made 3 50s and no centuries. In terms of his first class career, he would have played 42 matches, batted for 78 innings, amassed 2,590 runs, highest score of 194 at an average of 34.53, and a strike rate of 59.92, scoring 1950s and 300s in the process. Now, in terms of Shea Hope, when the captaincy would have been up for grabs, given that Shea Hope was selected as T20 captain, and the fact that he already had the ODI captain, the first thing that came to my mind that he will be asked to serve as test captain, given the fact that he said in the press that he is, if given a chance, he will be available to play red ball cricket. As you know, he has not played for about 4 years now for the West Indies, and based on information coming out of Cricket West Indies, he would have been asked and he would have turned down the offer. And so that is the reasons why Ruston Chase would have been, in fact 6 players would have been shortlisted for the captaincy, which Ruston Chase would have been the captain or selected as the captain, and Jamel Warrican as vice captain. Shea Hope, his test career, he would have played 38 matches, batted for 72 innings, amassed 1,726 runs, a high score of 147 at an average of 25.01, strike rate of 41.85 with 550 and 200s. Now, Shea Hope, as we know, is a quality batter, and he's also a wicket keeper. And I think these numbers, especially his average, I know you will want to improve on that average, especially in this series. And I just wish him all the best, and I'm happy that he would have been available to play red ball cricket again for the West Indies. In terms of the West Indies Championship, Shea Hope would have played one match, batted for 2 innings, and he amassed 36 runs, high score of 20, average of 18, strike rate of 50.7, with no 50 nor no 100. Now, in terms of the other inclusion, a surprise inclusion is Casey Carty. As it relates to Casey Carty, I think Casey Carty was selected based on his current form. As I said before, Darren Sammy would have mentioned the fact that there is no difference between white ball cricket and red ball cricketers for him. Once you are available to play for the West Indies, he will select you for the white ball or the red ball cricket. And given the fact that Casey Carty is in a purple patch, he has been in scintillating form for the West Indies in white ball cricket. So I believe that his selection in the squad would have been based on his current form. In terms of his test career, Casey Carty would have played 5 matches so far, batted for 10 innings, amassed 179 runs, highest score of 42, average of 17.9. And he will need to improve on that average. In terms of ODI innings versus Ireland, he would have played 3 matches, amassed 278 runs, high score of 170, average of 92.66, strike rate of 104.51, scoring 200 in that series. In terms of T20, he would have played his first T20 against Ireland, and he would have scored 49 not out. Right? Strike rate would have been 222.72. In terms of the ODIs played against England, he would have played 3 matches, amassed 154 runs, high score of 103, average of 51.33, 92.77 would have been his strike rate in that series, scoring 100. So the stats would have shown that he has been in really good form. So that is the reason why he was included in the squad. In terms of Anderson Phillips, he would have played 2 matches for his test career so far, bowling 46 overs, conceded 212 runs, and he would have taken 3 wickets with best figures of 2 for 30 at an economy of 4.6 and at an average of 70.6. That average is very poor, and I would expect that he wants to improve on that average. In terms of West Indies Championship, he would have played 4 matches, bowled 79.2 overs, conceded 275 runs. He would have taken 10 wickets, best figures of 4 for 36 at an average of 27.5. That average is not so bad, but it can be much better. You want to have an average of below 20. And Anderson Phillips would have played in the Division 2 County Championship this year for Lancashire, and he would have played 5 matches, bowled 116.2 overs, conceded 454 runs. He would have taken 10 wickets with best figures of 3 for 51, an economy of 3.9, and an average of 45.4. Right, and this Phillips needs to work on his average. He did play 1 match against the South Africa A, which he did exceptionally well, and I believe this match would have allowed him to be selected, ahead of Kemar Roach. He would have bowled 30.2 overs, conceded 82 runs. He would have taken 5 wickets with best figures of 5 for 67, with an economy of 3.18 and an average of 14. It was, a very good match for him, and I believe that this match would have allowed him to be selected by Cricket West Indies. In terms of Johan Lane has been, a very good prospect. 21-year-old. He has been, bowling really well since last year into this year. In terms of his first class career, he would have played 19 matches, bowled 419.2 overs, conceded 1,471 runs, taking 66 wickets, best figures of 6 for 30, with an economy of 3.5 at an average of 22.28. That is, those figures are really looking good there. In terms of the West Indies Championship, Johan Lane would have played 6 matches. He would have bowled 142.5 overs, conceded 429 runs, 27 wickets, and best figures of 6 for 30, economy of 3, and an average of 15.88. Johan Lane was exceptional in the West Indies Championship. In terms of the unofficial ODI match between the South Africa A, he would have played one of those matches. He bowled 8 overs, conceded 39 runs, 1 wicket. He would have taken best figures of 1 for 39, economy of 6.5, and an average of 39. Wasn't so good at all. In terms of the unofficial Test series, he would have played 2 matches, and he would have bowled 39.3 overs, conceded 191 runs with 3 wickets. He would have taken best figures of 1 for 29. His economy would have been 4.83 at an average of 63.66. So that was not, a good average there for Johan Lane. So all in all, those inclusion, I believe that they really deserve to be included in the squad. As it relates to Kemar Roach, as you know, Kemar Roach his contract is a player mentor contract, and not sure if this his non-selection marks the end of his Test career, and if that is the case, I believe that Darren Sammy and his team should honor Kemar Roach in Barbados. I really would wanted Kemar Roach to be included in this squad, to be honest with you. Kemar Roach has been one of our best bowlers bowling in the West Indies, and with a strong batting lineup as Australia, we would need the experience and also the skill of Kemar Roach to help us to take 20 wickets. Now, to be fair though, I don't think we have much issue with our bowling. It's mostly our batting would have been our biggest issue. But with Kemar Roach out of the squad, that would have left a void there for me. Know that Jaden Seals has Joseph, Shamar Joseph, and Anderson Phillips, along with Justin Graves and Warwick, and also Ruston Chase should be able to take 20 wickets in the first match in Barbados. But I'm really disappointed that Kemar Roach was not included in the squad, and I think we should have even selected him for the first Test, similar to what England did for James Anderson. He would have played the first Test, and then they would have allowed him to step aside. But I think that's what West Indies should have done. We have to honor our legends right off the game. We cannot allow them to just leave like that. And we would have seen it in the past, like Shibnaren, Chandler, Brian, Lara, Kuskil, all those guys did not get to play even their last. I'm not saying that we should select a player to play, their last Test in their, just for the sake of their last Test in front of their own fans. But we have to honor them, and I believe that Cricket West Indies should honor Kimar Roach in Barbados, if this is his last test, given that it seems as if that they are moving away from Kimar Roach, given that this test cycle ends in 2027. All right, so I mean that's where I will end it for now. There are a lot of talking points as it relates to this squad, but I will leave it here for now. Stay tuned to Gameyaaad TV as we will be doing some other videos on the squad, and also we will be looking on the Australian squad as well. Peace and blessings, everyone. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, turn on that post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever content will have been uploaded to the channel. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Velho, 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 velho.